18 feels like 8 right now.
Ooh. Oh my God, it's colder there than it is here.
Wow.
It's supposed to be at -12 on Saturday with a high of 5.
Love a high of 5.
Okay, we have so much fun stuff to talk about.
I'm really excited. Okay, here. Let's get into it. Welcome to MotoMouths, the podcast for MotoGP, motorsports, and more. I'm your host, Zoe, and welcome to season 2.
Guys, we're back.
We're back.
We're so back. We've never been more back.
We've never been more back. Literally, we've never been more back.
How does it feel, Zoe, to be back?
Feels like coming home.
It really does.
It was so over, and now it's so back.
It was so over. And for about 2.5 months, I was like, I might be good with a break. And I was talking to my dad the other day, and he goes, well, college football is basically over. And I was like, you don't watch college football. And he was like, well, no one I care about is going to the Super Bowl, so that's basically over. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. Like, I won't fight you on that.
What team is his in the Super Bowl? Virginia doesn't have a team.
First of all, we do.
Who? Oh, the Washington. Oh, I forgot about them.
A lot of people do. It's okay. We don't even like them. My dad's a Packers fan, which makes zero sense unless you actually know the man.
My dad is a Cowboys fan.
Oh, that's worse. That's so much worse. Does he know that's worse?
He's a Cowboys fan for the nerdiest possible reason.
Why?
By the way, this man worked for the Jets one summer during his MBA, I think. So he had ample opportunity to select the Bills,
literally anyone
the Jets,
else.
The Giants, anyone else.
Also, Atlanta has a team.
Yeah, well, before he's old. This was before moving to Georgia.
This is true.
And do we have a team really?
No.
Come on. He picked the Cowboys because they were the first team to use computers.
I can't, that's really cute.
I know.
He still picked the worst goddamn team available.
I know.
And I don't even care about football.
And in baseball, he keeps making these decisions. He said, the day the Yankees fired Yogi Berra, I became a Mets fan. And I think that's probably one of the worst decisions he's ever made.
I understand saying that about the Yankees and literally anyone else.
He's a big Yogi Berra fan.
Also, apparently into a vendetta. Jesus Christ. I don't think you can tell anyone that. I think your dad's gonna, have to look over his shoulder now.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was talking to my dad and he's like, oh, my sports are over. And I'm like, okay, sure, totally. And he's like, but racing's coming back soon. And the endurance racing too. And IMSA. And I was like, I kind of agree with you. I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready for it to come back into my life.
Yeah, I'm ready to be hurt again.
The first few off seasons, I feel like I was going fucking crazy. This off season, I feel like I had time to rest and recharge, as they said.
As all motorsport drivers have had.
The hold that the recharging battery emoji has over these people
needs to be studied.
There is a PhD in there.
There's a dissertation.
Totally.
Okay, so what's first?
I mean, as we do, I feel like we start with MotoGP.
Oh, I was going to say Jorge Martin.
Listen, I love that bit, but I don't want to talk about him for 2 minutes at the top of the pod every pod.
Okay, let's not. I have a feeling we may end up doing that naturally, but let's avoid it as long as we can.
So your predictions are coming out hot. We haven't even gotten to testing.
I know. I've been thinking about them.
We actually are going to talk about Jorge a little bit. Because the first team that launched for 2026 in MotoGP is Prima Pramac.
Right.
Who is now a Yamaha team. If I'm being totally honest, this launch had no spice. There was nothing really going on, nothing super exciting happening here. In my notes, I say, IDK, it's fine, nothing crazy. Their livery's pretty tradish.
Purple.
Yeah. The big deal for them is that they have top rack. The top rack is there.
Top rack, Res Gatliad. Okay,
glue.
I looked it up and it's not glue. It's Toprak Razgalia. The G is silent.
Well, we can blame British people for that.
True.
Toprak, I'm so sorry. I cannot say that right. I'm just...
No, we're going to stick with Razgatlioglu. That's better than most people do.
I think it was interesting, like Toprak is now trying to kind of like cushion what his eventual performance will be, which is fine. He's going to have to get up to speed on things, is what it is. The most interesting thing about the Prima Pramac launch to me was the team boss, Paolo Campanati, talking about Ducati.
Okay.
So Prima's with Yamaha now. Like we've been new.
They were that last year as well, weren't they?
Yes. Paolo has now decided to enter the conversation on the Ducati going with Mark over Jorge situation, which is like, to me, very late to the game. Granted, this happened in 2024. And now Mark is the reigning world champion. So it's kind of like, hey, man, the door's kind of closed on this conversation. And he said, I am opening it. He says that Ducati went back on their word in 2024, saying that Ducati had told them, even if Marc Marquez refused a Pramac seat and tried to back Ducati into a corner, Ducati said, we will be putting Jorge Martin on the factory Ducati bike.
Okay.
And so he's bringing this up, I think, in a very funny way of like kind of picking at Ducati from his, I guess, comfortable like Yamaha position. But it's also like you just proved once more that Marc Marquez is that guy. And why are we talking about this? Jorge doesn't even ride for you anymore.
Yeah, I don't know how to comprehend that.
It's pointless.
Why is he doing his America's Next Top Model confessional about Marc Marquez?
2 years late.
2 years late. He's talking about 2 cycles ago.
Which honestly kind of is like even worse because it's like you could have just like stood on business and told people this.
You had a whole season last year to tell people this. And it would have been more relevant, kind of.
Yeah. Just scared. Scared and lazy.
Crazy.
Anyways, that's all that there is to say about Prima Pramac. Yamaha is later this week, so whatever. VR46 was the second team to debut their livery for the year.
My thoughts on this.
I think it's really funny because they listened to us. We did say that white is not the color that you should be contrasting neon yellow with.
Correct. And what did they do?
Instead of white, it's all black.
I would be so much more excited about it if it wasn't the neon piss, the vitamin B complex yellow, and if it was the old yellow, the more marigold yellow.
Right. His more like Rossi Fumi golden yellow.
Which would fit in so nicely with my penguin stuff. And it would just like, I could have like a cohesive... I like when my sports teams are cohesive.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really sorry you have to deal with that. Unfortunately, you do have to contend with Valentino Rossi's shit aesthetic taste.
Yeah.
I just think it's so much better than their bike last year.
I agree.
I think it's kind of coming back to their like Pertamina Enduro livery from a couple years ago, like when Bez was racing for them. Loved that livery so much when he and Luca were racing together. That was so good. I just like the white is not great. I like white in F1 a lot. I don't like it on bikes. I don't think.
It gets dirty.
Which is exactly what Valentino said. He goes, I think that mechanics are going to be a lot happier with me because they were cleaning it off all season.
Yes. Why would you wear white to the blood dirt sport?
A great question. One other point of contention is that Frankie and Digia are both out of contract at the end of this year, meaning that like silly season about to go crazy.
Everyone out of contract at the end of this year?
We'll get to that.
Little teaser.
And also Frankie Digia beef continues. Like, love to see it.
We love to see it. My one wish.
Their launch was, I thought this was a really fun launch. MotoGP like runs the gamut of like extravagant launch situations. Like we'll talk about Aprilia in a second, but sometimes they do like crazy shit, like location wise. Sometimes they just like live stream it from their factory, which is, I'm pretty sure what Aprilia did. This year they launched from this like gorgeous, stunning, beautiful villa in the hills of Rome. And there was this funny little video because Digia's from Rome. And a lot of the other VR46 guys are from like northern Italy. And so there's this video of him and Frankie standing there and he goes, oh, you can see my apartment like right down there. Because like the villa's in the hills. And he's like, yeah, like that's where I live. And it's like, Frankie is so uninterested. You're like, oh man.
They are being forced to play nice.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But it was beautiful. I loved it. I may or may not get married there in the future. Who knows? Next up is Aprilia. Thus far, I think actually of the four we're talking about, Aprilia may be my favorite.
I agree.
So they're sticking with their sexy black vibe, which
Loved
has
it.
like been kind of their brand image for years now. Purple and red accents still there. I think it's very fun that last year, and I'm assuming we'll do it again this year, Bez's bike has more of the red accents and Jorge's bike has more of the purple accents. I think it's a really fun way to differentiate.
I love that when that happens.
The biggest thing about the difference in the bike this year is that they have integrated a roaring lion logo.
Why?
So Aprilia is an Italian company.
Sure.
They're based in a place called Noale, which is close to Venice.
Okay.
People will be like, oh, like the Noale-based factory. Duh. The lion has been part of their logo since the 1980s, and it's directly in reference to Venice. They just haven't really integrated it into like their racing logos for a long time. So they're bringing it into this year where I guess they feel like they really can fight for something. And Bez and Jorge both like are kind of like emotionally connecting to it. Like they feel very connected to this idea of like lion like roaring out of the gate. Like Jorge's like, this is the team spirit. Bez is already talking about the bike with she, her pronouns.
Bez is already cheating on the bike back at home.
I mean, he had two bikes last year. Maybe he's just doing like every year he's got like two bikes, like he's the bachelor every single year and it's always two of them.
Or sister wives. Sister bikes.
Totally. But I think it's cool that they brought this logo in and it's like a fun, sexy little thing because they feel like a sexier team that likes to have fun now. I mean, they've kind of always felt like that with Aleix, but when Aleix and Maverick were racing for them, they felt old because those were two ancient
dinosaurs
on bikes.
I think it's very, very funny for Jorge to be like, this is the pride and spirit of the team. Cracks me up.
I mean, I did kind of exaggerate that, but that is, I think, where he's coming from. My question that we need to hold on and look out for when it comes to testing is what fur thing is Bezzecchi going to do this season? Because last year he had like leopard fur and he can't do that if there's a lion on the bike. So I'm curious. We'll keep an eye out.
Boots with the fur. Boots with the fur.
You already did hump with the fur.
Should do more. More fur.
More humps?
More humps.
Got it.
More humps, more fur. Make this an early 2000s R&B hit.
I'm into it. One of the other things about their launch that I thought was absolutely hysterical is that Lorenzo Savadori seems to now be part of their brand. This is the guy who covered for Jorge during like 80% of last year. So when they had like all these launch videos and footage, it's Bez, Sav, and Jorge.
Jorge looks like he is the alternate, not Sav.
I'm so confused by why they did that.
Were they going for like a height thing?
Maybe, but then it's like, then you do kind of like a forced perspective.
Yeah.
But they didn't. And so they just put Sava in the middle and it looks like he's the guy leading the whole team. And then because he's standing closer to Bez, because they're like boy besties, Jorge looks like he's being excommunicated actively.
It's so funny to me. Isn't it an omen? We shall see.
I described it as their get-along teammate.
That's what it is.
After Bez multiple times has been like, I would not go to a secondary or tertiary location with Jorge Martin. Wouldn't go to dinner with him either.
You want to go to a primary location unless he was forced to.
Truly. Something else is Massimo Rivola made it clear that they want to keep Bez. They have not made any clear statements about Jorge. Which I'm not trying to put anything in Massimo's mouth. He basically was like, he's not up to 100% yet. We haven't raced with him seriously. Like, we just need to get him comfortable. I don't think he's exerting any like undue pressure. He's like, I don't fucking know, man. He did also make some Caddy comments where he was like, everyone else is moving really fast with contracts and I would just prefer to move a little slower.
He's a romantic. He's a traditionalist.
No, I know. But he's like, if everybody is moving so fast and everybody's coming to my riders with so much money, like, I guess I have to nail things down quickly. And everyone's like, all right, man, like, Jesus.
Sorry.
Do your job.
Yeah.
What do you want me to say?
What else are you doing?
I can't speculate. All right. And then the most recent one thus far is Ducati. So I think it's so fun that Ducati does this. Ducati launches every year from like a resort in the Dolomites.
Yeah, and like the Alps.
No, the Dolomites.
Well, okay. Yes, the Dolomites.
Those are two different
mountain ranges.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm Googling this. Okay, so the Dolomites are part of the Alps, but the Dolomites are a very specific part of it.
Retract
what you said. I mean, yeah, I retract that they're different places, but I will say the Dolomites are famous for their unique, jagged peaks, unique geology, and distinct culture.
The Alps peaks got too worn down by those elephants that came over that one time.
Yeah, I'm not digging into that. But I think it's fun. They're just like, hey, come to our evil mountain getaway and isolate yourself with us for 5 days. Hang out with our weird, like, cult members.
Yeah.
And get peer pressured into, like, ski racing.
Yeah.
Which is what they do all the time. It's, like, very much a culture kind of thing of, like, you have to race.
Yeah.
Skiing. And it's like, hey, you got these, like, tiny little breakable men on your payroll.
Yeah. Maybe we chill with the skiing.
No. And you know what else they did this year?
What did they do? Tubing?
They went mountain biking on snow. Yeah. Guess who had a great time?
Was it Marc Marquez?
Right. Who just spent about 4 months recovering from a really substantive shoulder break.
How does that even work?
I don't fucking know, dude. You think he
gives a fuck?
Right.
No.
Right. From a visual perspective, I love this bike. I'm so into this bike.
I think the red is sexy.
It's a darker red. They added white racing stripes. And I
love the racing stripes.
All to commemorate their like centennial.
I love a centennial. I love a commemoration. I love the darker red so much because it looks like Marc Marquez is out for blood and riding on his like vehicle of blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love that for him.
I'm just into it. I think it's sexy.
It is sexy. It is really sexy. I like the white stripes.
I think it's a sexy bike. I'm into it.
I couldn't agree more. She thinks my bike is sexy.
I don't know what that reference is.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
I don't know what that reference is.
You don't know she thinks my tractor is sexy?
No. Can we table this for after?
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of bikes, we have no fucking idea what the GP26 is. Like, no clue. So that'll be fun to spend the next year trying to figure out like what's going on under the hood. Because remember, the big issue last year is that the 25 wasn't that different from the 24.
Oh, you're saying that this is like a whole new beast.
That's what they want us to think. Because the 24 engine was homologated for the like satellite teams, theoretically Ducati could race the 24 engine and fuck around with the buildup of the bike. We have no idea yet. They haven't said anything. Part of the problem is that Pecco Bagnaia, we still don't really know for sure why the 25 just didn't work for him. So we have no idea what they're going to do when, quote unquote, building the 26.
How big is the brake disc?
Also, the other issue is that from a budgeting perspective, they shouldn't be investing in the development of the 26 bike.
Because the regulations are going to change.
And we're going to a different tire manufacturer. Like, so much is going to change next year.
And also, you've got Marc Marquez. Like, it's going to be okay, you know?
I mean, I agree with you. Totally. But he did just break his shoulder and was out for 4 months. Is the bike good? We don't know. We have no idea what's going on in there. So I'm just interested. We'll be talking about it all year. It's going to be great. There was something I want to touch on. So in the grand tradition of people saying things and us talking about them, someone said something.
Okay, who said what?
Marco Simoncelli's father is a man named Paolo.
Okay.
Paolo owns the SICK 58 Moto3 team, which is named after his son's nickname and like racing number. We know that Marco Simoncelli was a very close personal friend of Valentino Rossi. We also know that he tragically passed away in like one of the worst racing incidents of like the sport. Paolo has publicly said that the VR46 echo chamber, what he calls, quote, Valentino Rossi's group, is the reason that Pecco Bagnaia underestimated Marc Marquez going into 2025. So he basically says Pecco Bagnaia underestimated Marc Marquez going into 25 because of bad advice he got from Valentino Rossi's camp. Paolo's point is that Pecco comes from Valentino's group. After
Right.
hearing everything that group has to say, he underestimated Marquez. And so Paolo's guess is that Pecco thought, all I have to do is crash less. Because Mark, if you listen to the Rossi camp, crashes constantly.
And they're not wrong, is the thing.
There's like context to it. That's the thing. When you walk away from like the context, which is totally what's going on over there, you completely miss the fact that he's crashing so much because one, he's
He's at
crazy,
the
and
limit.
two, his bike is trying to kill him and he's trying to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah. So why is Paolo the one to speak on this?
I don't know. I really don't know.
And to whom did he say this to? Is he just tweeting?
He spoke to an Italian newspaper, Corriere della Sera.
Okay. I mean, get your bag, King, I guess. Like, say what you want to say.
Yeah. In the exact same interview, he then proceeded to say that Marquez reminded him of his late son. Quote, I always liked him. He rides and thinks like my son. He never gives up and always tries.
Well, now I'm going to cry.
He then said, if Marco hadn't died, we would have had a lot of fun. You know how sport fights are.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, this podcast is about dads.
No, literally, core theme of the podcast.
Okay, so speaking of contract things, because you said earlier, isn't everyone kind of out of contract at the end of the year? And the answer is yes, but that's going to change really quickly.
Go on.
Ducati, like Tardozzi, the CEO of Ducati as well, like all of these big names are basically saying our number one priority is getting Mark to sign another contract.
That is so fucking funny to me, considering the fact that Pecco is also having a contract end at the end of the season and he is their golden boy.
Well, guess what else they said?
What did they say?
They and Mark basically were like, we are 9/10 of the way to getting a signature on a new contract for another 2 years. And Mark has said, listen, the only thing that's left for me to like figure out is I just want to get back on the bike for testing, like preseason testing, and then we'll figure it out from there. So it's looking like that contract is going to be figured out very quickly.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
They have vaguely, in a way, but I think very clearly said our number one priority is to get Mark signed. We'll figure the second seat out after. And they also said we have time to figure that out if we need to shop within the family.
Alex Marquez to Ducati?
More of like the Ducati family. Which, low-key, I was kind of like, oh, Fermin Aldeguer is right there, except actually he isn't because he just broke his femur about a couple of weeks ago.
Fermin Femur.
Fermin Femur. By all accounts, that surgery went well, and we should get a timeline on his return shortly.
Great. Alex to Ducati 2026.
I don't know. Well, it'd be 27.
Right.
Here's my, like, best case scenario, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like pie in the sky, best case scenario. Pedro is going to be leaving KTM at the end of the year. We know this, basically. We don't know this, but we know this. I think they should put Alex in factory Ducati. Pecco, I think ultimately will probably go to Yamaha or Honda, but I think it'd be fun to put him and Luca on a team together. And they have like clearly support and like a rapport.
They're like a cheetah and a dog because the cheetahs are so anxious.
Well, who's who?
Well, clearly Pecco is the anxious cheetah.
Absolutely, Luca is the dog. Right.
There's not even a question there.
Well, I just had to check. I think that would be really funny. I've also for the last season, I've been like, I think Pecco would be a great fit at Yamaha, like while they're figuring their shit out. Like he comes from this whole ecosystem at Ducati, has all this knowledge. I think they could find him very useful. That's why they've been so obsessed with Jack Miller. Then you can finally send Jack Miller out to pasture. I think it could work. All of that to say, if you move Alex up, there is room for Pedro Grazzini. We still have a bunch of other launches in the next couple of weeks.
Trackhouse posted their like launch preview, and it was like I and Raul doing like science experiments, and it was really cute. It was really cute. And they had like goggles and test tubes. It was really cute.
That's really cute.
So that's how they announced their launch is coming. They're going to blow up the state of North Carolina.
Hey, listen, I wouldn't complain.
Take South Carolina while you're at it.
You can take a chunk of Tennessee. Just throwing that out there. So we have quite a few more launches before the beginning of the season, before actual testing starts. And we'll cover them next week because that's how we fucking do it over here.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a few like admin kind of winter season things we need to touch on. One, we did already discuss Fermin Aldeguer. We don't really know Fermin Femur. His Fermin Femur is fucked. Fermin's femur fucked up fortuitously. No.
Forza Ferrari.
Forza a Ferrari.
Fermin Femur Fucked up. Forza Ferrari.
Sure, why not? But yeah, no idea like when he could be back on a bike, like even safely. But also don't really know who would like be his backup. Maybe like BAAAAAAAAAACK, because he's like the Ducati guy. But who's to say? We don't really know. One other thing is that they have introduced a new restart rule for this season. Basically, riders in MotoGP and World Superbike will not be able to restart their bikes from trackside after a crash. So sometimes when the bike crashes during a session, it'll just completely stop running. Sometimes it'll still be running. It's kind of a crapshoot, a crash shoot, if you will. Thank you. But what MotoGP is saying is you cannot restart the bike because it typically takes around a minute or so right offside the track, because that's a dangerous situation for you, the rider, to be in. It's dangerous for the marshals to be in. It's dangerous for everyone else on the track if they crash into you.
So is this like what is the definition of trackside? Is it anything within like anything trackside? Like the whole gravel trap is off limits?
What they have determined is that you can restart the bike behind barriers.
Okay.
And then you can get back out on the track. Here's the thing. I feel like if you're a marshal back there and you're like, it's taking them 2, 3, 5 minutes to restart the bike, it's like, brother.
It's dangerous. And also, apparently, the MotoGP guys, when they are racing in countries that are not their native language, they pretend to not understand the marshals to get back on their bikes.
Yes, they do this.
Which is hilarious.
Yes.
Dangerous.
But goofy.
But goofy.
I think this is like a fine rule for a session.
Not for the race, you're saying?
I just think it's not going to end well. I think there's going to be some growing pains with it.
Yeah.
Because like Mark's done this multiple times where he crashes out, ends up in 14th, and then ends up on the podium because he can restart the bike and he's
quickly
not like too far off the pace.
Maybe it's like a 5-second rule where if you can't get it restarted in a certain amount of time, you have to restart from behind a barrier.
I think the point is that if the bike is off, the bike's off. So like, who am I to like mess around with like thermodynamics and shit?
Who are we? Ferrari?
Truly. There's also new guidelines on concussions coming down from the FIM.
Okay.
Right. And you're like, cool.
They
so
exist?
You didn't already have them.
Yeah. Like what, where are we going here?
It's basically, that has kind of been the response. It's really important to know that these guidelines are not mandatory.
Oh my God.
They are what you might say toothless.
You know what I love with a concussion protocol?
When they're not mandatory?
When they're not mandatory. When they're just loosey-goosey, like your brain rolling around in your skull.
Yeah, Europe is basically like CT doesn't exist. It's only for Americans.
And Canadians. We can't forget about the hockey players.
Oh my goodness. You're so right.
Look at them get the little smelling sticks that they have on the bench in hockey.
I love that they have that. It's so funny.
It's so silly.
Do you think you can like pick your scent?
I think they're like ammonia.
Oh God, that's worse.
Yeah.
I thought they were like potpourri smelling salts.
They're like ammonia.
Ew.
I know.
God, we torture them enough. Jesus.
It's not a lovely floral scent.
That's my heated rivalry hot take.
3.
Ilya's just on the bench sniffing ammonia. I'd be fucking crazy too.
That's why Ovechkin is like that.
That's why Shane Hollander is massively depressed.
Can you imagine? You get laid out like a pancake on the ice.
And you
your brain
ammonia
rolling around in your skull. You have to smell ammonia. I wouldn't. I would quit.
Do you think after so long of being in like those rooms that their sense of smell is just kind of gone?
100%.
Which is why the ammonia works, probably.
Have it on record that like Sidney Crosby is one of the stinkiest people to ever exist.
Well, yeah, because he can never throw clothes away or wash them. We know this.
So I'm sure like Chris Letang and Evgeny Malkin cannot smell Sidney Crosby anymore.
I don't know.
There has to be a week when they all come back from the break.
Yeah.
That's miserable. And then they get used to it again. It's an ammonium carbonate water and alcohol.
God. I'm going to throw up. The last thing I want to talk about here, obviously everyone has already seen this, but we were on break while this happened. We have to talk about the guy in Mexico.
I
Have you
haven't
not seen this?
No. What's happening?
Okay, so this guy named Ryan Wedding,
Great name.
he's a former Canadian Olympic snowboarder. He competed in Salt Lake City in 2002, has been on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitive list for years.
For what?
He originally went to prison for like selling and like dispersing cocaine. And it was like a felony. So it was like
Yes.
an amount that's felonious, you know?
Yes.
He then left prison, like he did his time, I guess. And
He was released.
they said, fly free. They said, go free.
Go free.
He said, I fucking bet I'm going free. And so he went to Mexico. And
Right.
apparently, by all accounts, granted, I'm not saying I super trust the United States FBI
At the moment, yeah.
at the moment
Or ever.
or ever. Great context. Where he left for Mexico and he immediately built like a cocaine empire. And he's moving so much fucking product into the US, apparently.
Quick question.
Uh-huh.
What does this have to do with MotoGP?
Just wait.
Okay.
So they've been looking for him for years. So I think like the reward that they talk about for like info that leads to his capture was like $13 million.
Okay.
I'm like, they're not fucking paying anyone a cent of that.
Nothing to sniff at.
Stop.
Because cocaine.
I'd never turn my nose up at that. And that's the truth. They found him in Mexico.
Okay.
And the FBI Los Angeles field office posted about it on Twitter.
Okay.
And basically posted like photos of like his shit that he'd accumulated. One of the big things of his stuff that people started talking about was his approximately $40 million collection of motorcycles. And so obviously this hits MotoGP Twitter and people start saying, some of these look familiar.
Whose bikes does he have?
He has a handful of Honda 500cc like race bikes, several Kawasaki superbikes. He's got the 2018 Ducati that Jorge Lorenzo won 3 GPs on. He's got Andrea Dovizioso's 2019 Ducati.
Oh my God.
And he has 2 of Valentino Rossi's Ducatis from his like 2-year Ducati stint, 11 to 12. And Marc Marquez's Moto2 bikes from 2011 and 2012.
Did he get them on like Facebook Marketplace?
I don't know. You think I understand how the black market works?
I mean, do you think that like these are worth enough for the black market is my question.
Well, those are like 6 bikes within this collection. The photos of it are like, he has a garage that goes on for like, I don't fucking know, like half a mile. Also, by the way, 2012 Moto2, that is Marc Marquez's championship winning bike.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so many.
Yes.
What? Why does he have so many?
Because he's a coked out empire leader who can spend his money on whatever the fuck he wants.
Oh my God, that's so many. That's so many. That's so much more than I was thinking.
Yeah. Yes.
God, the old Marlboro logos were so sexy.
Yeah, like this is crazy.
That's crazy.
And if you look at the photo with like all of them lined up, you kind of zoom in and you're like, hey, 99 with little devil horns on each 9. I know that guy. And then you go, why are there 2 neon 46s behind it?
Right there, smack dab in the middle. The first thing my eyes went to, in fact, were the piss yellow 46s.
Yeah. So that's fucking crazy.
That's insane. Do you think he has Jorge Martin's bicycle in there too?
I mean, it was stolen
by Fernando Alonso.
I don't think he ever got it back. But yeah, hot damn. That was crazy when that happened.
Wow.
That's kind of what's going on in MotoGP right now.
Well, do you want to head over to the Great White World of Motorsports?
I think we should.
Okay.
Right? Is that how this goes?
I think so. So,
guess what they're also doing in F1 right now?
Launching?
Yeah. That's crazy.
In Detroit, nonetheless.
Listen.
Let's look up the temperature in Detroit real quick.
Don't hate on my Midwestern brothers and sisters.
I'm not hating. I just want to look up how cold it is.
How cold is it in Detroit right now?
It is 11. Feels like -2.
That's not bad.
11 feels like -2.
That's not bad.
All right. And snowing.
So let's talk launches and let's talk Detroit, because who launched in Detroit this year, Zoe?
Red Bull Racing.
And
B-Carb.
yes, nailed it.
And even before this, we need to talk about what hit the world, took the world by storm, if you will.
Tell me.
Last year, during the Vegas Grand Prix weekend, Max Verstappen, I don't know if you've heard of him, and
Once or twice.
Arvin Lindblad were shooting content for Red Bull and Ford. And you'll never believe who rocked up as a surprise for Max.
Oh my God, who rocked up as a surprise for Max?
Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah, like, of course he did.
And then,
Of course he did.
Daniel, I love you so much. Go home. Don't get on the sim at the Red Bull Ford camp and like start testing the car for Red Bull.
I mean, 2023 was a really good year.
2023 was a really good year. Arvin Lindblad looked like he had died and gone to heaven. I know the feeling.
Okay, same. He's not special.
Yeah, truly. And then Max Verstappen was just ha-ha tee-hee having the best time of his life.
Giggling, kicking his feet, having a blast. Many such cases.
And apparently, rumor has it that this is where Max talked to Daniel about
the three.
The three.
I buy it.
Anyways, so I'm going to be real. I didn't realize that wasn't the launch until like when the launch actually happened. I was like so tuned out. I was like, oh, that's nice. They launched and Daniel was there for some reason. But no, it all happened in Vegas. Anyways, we went to Detroit. We had a launch and there's big changes happening at Red Bull.
Yes. Okay. So let's talk about the car first really quick.
I think the car is sexy.
In my notes, I have written low-key sickening, nice and shiny. I wish there was more red. I do immediately take back the red comment, even though I slightly stand by it, because Max has apparently been asking for more blue and shiny for years, and they just have not been giving it to him.
And why? Why not is the thing.
The carbon fiber matte bullshit.
Navy nightmare.
I think it worked because it looked kind of evil.
I like it. I think it's hot.
I like it. We've said
sexy.
Multiple times we need to bring the shiny back.
Yes. Also, they have new blue kits. Like their team kit is blue. Everyone says they're ugly. I think they look nice.
I think it's really fun that Ford is getting all of this support.
Yeah, I can't say the same, but yeah.
No, I just mean that like this blue is a very Ford blue.
It is. It is nice that they're not forcing us into a Ferrari HP situation.
We will get to that.
Yes, we will.
I also, like, you were talking about changes coming to Red Bull. I forgot to put this in my notes, but I think it's so hysterical and also very Red Bull that there's all this commentary about Laurent Mekies being like, we want to come in like as a new kind of like era of Red Bull where we don't want to make vicious enemies, and we're here to really lift up like the Red Bull mission, which is like competition and like speed and like being the best of the best, and like we're not here to make enemies anymore. And I'm like, unfortunately that is baked into the like
your
psychology
identity
of the entire company, which was then immediately borne out by all the like shoving and jostling that Mercedes and Red Bull are doing in the press right now. And I'm like, Laurent, I love that you have this energy.
I love that you are trying to be the positive little guy.
And I think it's great as a leader that you should be like that.
I also think we should just have some realistic understandings of what is in the DNA of the organization.
Right. Foundationally, this is an evil team.
We've said it before, we'll say it again, but David Coulthard and Mark Webber came in and they set the standard of being evil.
And they did it right and they did it well.
Exactly.
And then Seb came in. Incredible work by the rookie.
Evil. He took evil to a whole new level.
Danny Rick came in and was evil in a very like
sexy way.
Sexy, delicious, fun way that everyone was like, we're evil too now. Holy shit.
The smiling assassin.
Yeah. Big dick energy, like, whoa. And then Max came in and everyone's like, who is this evil baby?
Evil baby since birth.
And then he started eating his competition
and his
never
teammates.
Stopped.
And then Danny Rick cursed the second seat.
It's an evil team.
It's an evil team. And like, we should accept that and love it and nurture it.
Honestly, that's why is still there.
Anyways.
I think the car looks nice. I like the blue. Max seems happy. Racing Bulls look the exact same. That's all I got.
Yep.
Haas also launched. Looks stupid. Looks just like them. I hope they do well.
I am excited about Toyota being back. I'm excited about Toyota Gazoo being back.
Yeah, why not? Then we got the Audi.
Half of a new kid on the block.
Yeah, like new cousin or something. I don't know. I thought this was so interesting because from varying angles, like the photos that they had of the launch, their car looked one like a McLaren and two like a Red Bull, both from like a couple years ago.
Yes.
Like different angles. It is just like very much reheating someone's nachos.
Agreed.
This is the one time where I'm like, Zach Brown, please run your mouth. The one time. Because I know he has something like stupid to say about it.
Let's get messy.
Right.
Ferrari.
Yeah, we don't have a car yet. But we have race suits.
I want to talk about this. On the 18th, they posted, I don't know if they did it on Instagram, but they posted to Twitter, built in the dark, driven in the light, to like tease out their situation.
Which is like, why did you build it in the dark?
That's what I want to say.
Like, you remember that one like Nile clip from like peak One Direction? You're in the dark.
No.
Holy fuck.
Don't. I was not a One Direction fan.
If this was all over the internet.
Let's just say, Ferrari, considering the year you had last year.
But like, why are you building a racing car in the dark after you told everyone last year that you built a racing car based on like the rules of physics for a universe that doesn't exist?
This is what I'm saying.
What are we doing?
You are a joke. What are we doing?
Also, like, I cannot believe you're putting Lewis Hamilton through this. Charles Leclerc is used to it. You just spent a full year putting Lewis Hamilton through a saw trap of a sports team, and you're doing it fucking again.
Dog and pony show. And then Red Bull clapped back and said, built in the light, also driven in the light.
Which again, it's like, Laurent, they're never going to be kind. They're never going to be kind.
Built in the light, also driven in the light. That's like, what?
I wish there's a recording of like the social team meeting, like putting these ideas together on how
the best. They were like, they had too much material, and they went for the simple route, and I think that's really commendable.
Here's what I know happened.
Okay,
they were throwing around campaign ideas.
Oh, I was talking about the Red Bull social team.
Oh, I'm talking about Ferrari. They're in a room. They're throwing around team like ideas and themes for this launch.
Spaghetti at the wall, if you will, as they are
It's
Italian.
a brainstorm. And brainstorms are supposed to be messy. You're coming up with ideas. You're discussing. You're throwing things around. Unfortunately, I do believe someone hit on the idea of like new season, like we're coming out into the light, and it's like someone watched Heated Rivalry and said we deserve sunshine. Like truly, I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
And then they just all got too excited and went too hard in the paint on like nighttime, daytime imagery, and no one thought for a second about it. That's what happened. I know that's what happened. It was dumb, but it's fine. They couldn't see the forest for the trees.
Ay. So I don't have high hopes for them.
Okay, but the funny thing to me is that they have been like blowing up Instagram, social, like wherever, with all of these posts and content about their racing suits.
Yeah.
That I'm like, where's the car?
It's in that universe that it was built in.
It's in the dark. It's sitting in a dark room alone. And I will say, I like the race suits. I think they're fun. They actually remind me very closely of the Ducati bikes.
Yeah,
they look almost the exact same.
I see it. Okay, what else? We have some congratulations in order.
For Alex Albon for landing probably, I don't know if I'm crazy.
The biggest get of all time. She is so far out of his league.
Unbelievably so.
Not even funny.
I saw people talking about this where they're like, oh, is that why Alex was doing all this weird sponsored shit all through 2025 for what seemed to be no reason? People were like, oh, he was saving up for the ring. Next on the list to cover is engine beef. I kind of referenced this earlier, but there are some rumors flying around, as there always are.
People are chit-chatting.
now that we're in a new reg cycle, so a huge chunk of rumors basically are suggesting that Mercedes is onto something. They have found a loophole. Red Bull is publicly calling them out and saying that's fucking false.
Okay.
And we believe those rumors are planted by Mercedes themselves.
Okay.
I kind of love it. Love the energy.
I love the beef.
There's more rumors that say Red Bull has found the same loophole that Mercedes has.
Okay.
Who the fuck knows?
All I care about
Drama.
is that McLaren has not found this loophole.
Well, McLaren gets their engines from Mercedes.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
So, not to be a downer. Former F1 driver Johnny Herbert.
Also, former F1 steward.
Johnny Herbert.
That drama last year?
Yes, I wasn't going to bring it up. Is also making claims, like on the record, that Mercedes is having serious issues with the integration of their 2026 power units into the car, saying that he's heard from people at the factory who've said they put the power units in the car and the car won't turn on. And I'm like, so what's the truth?
The loophole they have found is how to save energy.
And that may be true.
You can't waste power if you never turn the car on.
Okay, drill. Jeez.
One thing that I love about this media cycle, speaking of power units, this is an actual segue, is that Ford and Cadillac are taking snipes at each other like it's 1940.
I love it. Like American exceptionalism, welcome to F1.
So happy you're here.
So pleased you're here. Also, like Midwestern hot goss. Oh, it's so good.
No, truly.
So it started with Cadillac. So Cadillac, unprompted really. Like truly this came out of like generations worth of beef between GM, Cadillac, Ford, like the big car companies in the US.
Yes.
We could talk about that for a long ass time, but understand that there's huge amounts of beef between like these major car manufacturers in the US.
Yes.
Also context, GM has like a financial stake in Cadillac, whereas Ford is a development partner of Red Bull.
I thought Cadillac was a brand of General Motors.
I think it is.
Just clarifying.
Yeah. But like they make their own cars.
So that's where this all started.
The Cadillac CEO of the F1 project, like I said, unprompted, basically said that Ford's involvement with Red Bull is a marketing exercise, like nothing seriously impactful happening there. Comparing that to GM as like fully integrated with the Cadillac F1 team. Specifically said, one is a marketing deal with very minimal impact, while GM is the equity owner in the Cadillac team, deeply embedded from an engineering standpoint and involved in Cadillac from day one. Kind of a big swing.
Yeah, you're saying you have slapped your name on this car and we're building it.
Right, which is like, as I mentioned, a big swing when Ford is fully integrating with Red Bull to build the car.
And has been for some
like 2
time
years
now. Yeah.
So Ford, through multiple representatives, hit back in their own way.
Came right back.
So Bill Ford, who is the executive chairman.
I don't know if you can put that together, that Bill Ford is important to the Ford brand.
Yeah, just we're going to let you figure that one out. Said that he laughed out loud when he saw these comments and called them something like utterly preposterous.
Oh my God.
I quote, I would actually say that the reverse is true. They're running a Ferrari engine. They're not running a Cadillac engine. I don't know if they have any GM employees on the race team. And this is true because GM has not been registered as like a manufacturer for engines with F1 until 2029. As of right now, they will not be offering an engine to the Cadillac team for another 3 years.
Okay.
So based on what we know, they'll be running a Ferrari engine until then.
Big mistake. But anyways.
Will Ford, a different guy.
But still probably important.
And also, let me just draw your attention to the fact that we've got Bill and Will, both names that are short for William.
Do you know my middle school vice principal's name was Billy Williams?
So his name is William Williams? That's horrible. Will Ford, so, you know, also probably involved, is the general manager of Ford Performance.
I sure hope he is.
Involved in like Ford as like a sport kind of support entity, but not really involved in the F1 team, said, we could have spent a lot of money to slap our logo on a car
Mhm.
or to put our name alongside a team. But we made a very deliberate decision to form Red Bull Ford Powertrains
Like 3 years ago.
as a true technical partnership and complement the audacious effort of Red Bull when they decided to set down in developing their own power unit. And so I bring all of this to you, mostly to kind of just be like, that's so fucking crazy. They started this fight and then got like bodied 4 times.
Hit with a tire iron.
But also just from like a literally baseline from a brand perspective, you look like a whiny baby.
Listen, I'm not going to shame my ancestors and side with Ford and anything, but good God, GM.
No.
Shut up.
And here's the thing. I don't think GM's happy about it.
I'm sure they're not.
It's weird. It's weird.
Also, I'm so sorry, but they are losing the Americana game to Ford and have been for a long time.
Well, you're also losing the Don't Give a Fuck award to Ford, who is, I would say, predominantly known as an abbreviation
For
found on road dead.
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, they've done a lot of work to not be that way. And I think it's like, we've talked about this for years, obviously before podcasting, because we're friends and we do talk. Really made it sound like we didn't. Ignore that.
Nobody was questioning otherwise. I kidnapped Zoe and forced her to do this podcast with me.
I think people would believe it the reverse more because I just never shut up.
I have her at gunpoint right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But we've talked about this for years in the sense that like Ford is really trying to rebrand as like, not rebrand entirely, but kind of shift a little bit to being younger, being more fun, being more adventurous.
They are like doing like a 90s.
They're trying to be like Jeep in a way.
Yes, exactly.
That's kind of like the value add that they're trying to do, especially I think Daniel is such a great partner for them in that way.
Very smart.
It makes sense for them to get back into racing in this way. It's like a really interesting perspective. And then you've got Cadillac, who is really into AI, apparently.
Of course they are.
And you've got Cadillac starting these fights when it's like, no one's been on track. No one's done anything. Most people don't know this brand from a European perspective.
Yeah.
Like this, I know this because I live in the Midwest. You know this because you like to know things.
I was
but
a history major. Yeah.
Automotive history in the US is just as rich and deep and varied as it is in the rest of the world.
It is indeed core to the American identity, I would say, in a way that it is not in Europe.
I think it's different. I think motorcycles are very core in Europe, but it like we don't think about motorcycles in the same way that they do. Cars are our thing.
Well, yes. Yeah.
And so I think as a brand introducing itself on like a major European and Asian stage in some ways, why the fuck are you doing it through like a bitchy slap fight? I know someone at GM was like, shut the fuck up.
Crazy.
Just dumb. But I think that's it.
Wow. I think we're in for a really exciting season.
Of like everything.
Everything, everywhere, all at once. That brings us to the grid as ... which for the uninitiated is a moment or a podcast where we categorize a handful of riders and drivers from across the great wide world of motorsport as a person, place, thing, idea, concept, and in honor of the little GM Ford Bitch Fest, we will be doing the grid as American car brands. Would you like to go first?
No, but I will. These are like, I have not actually really thought them through. It's just there's a vibe thing happening. I'm really getting a Ram Trucks vibe from Frankie.
Okay.
And I mean that in the way where it's like he's hauling shit around.
Yeah.
He's using a truck for what it's supposed to be used for.
Yeah, this is not a Ford F-150.
Right. No. And he's got like an ancient one. And he's had it for a long time.
Yeah. I get it. I see it.
That's kind of what I'm seeing.
Okay.
Because I brought it up earlier, I don't think Mark is a Jeep, but I could see him having a Jeep.
The Jeeps are a part of a cult mentality that is so beyond, I don't even know. They've got like a secret language.
But I think the Jeep makes sense for Mark. Also probably Alex. Also probably half the grid. But I just like from a like off-roading mountain bike kind of thing, I think it makes sense for like him and like all the Spanish guys who do that all the time.
Yes. Okay. For me, I'm going to say that Fernando Alonso is a Lincoln.
I was trying to think about who would be a Lincoln, and I was like, there's no one, affectionately, there's no one on the MotoGP grid who's classy like that,
Old,
but in a sleazy way.
old, sleazy, but kind of classy.
I could maybe like Max Biaggi. I could see that.
Yeah.
Like classic, old, kind of sleazy.
And then for a newer one, Lando Norris is Waymo.
The
Because-
jokes write themselves.
He is not driving.
No, he isn't. No, actually, you know what Lando Norris is? He's those automated little boxes that pick up your food and drive it to your apartment.
And people keep killing.
Yeah, and they're automated by some dude with an Xbox controller in LA.
Yeah.
Anyways,
We don't have those in New York, thank God.
we have them here, and it is so unbelievably sad and funny watching people be like, "Oh." I'm like, you fucking clanker. Like, oh my God. Get up.
Get up.
It's
Stand
not gonna
up.
fuck you.
Yet.
Don't.
Okay. Well, I think that's it for our first episode of 2026.
Wow. Had to kick the tires, had to get back to feeling comfortable. But
Yeah.
we're here.
We're here. We're here. And we're here.
You could have finished that sentence.
I was just thinking of Tyler Seguin.
Nothing but steers and queers of Texas.
And I'm no cow.
He's so like accidentally iconic for that.
He's been smelling a lot of ammonium.
He is like, do you think he knows how much lasting power that has?
Oh my God.
I want him to know.
Anyways, that's it.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Go ahead and like, share, rate, review, engage with,
Subscribe even.
any and all of the following to the podcast. It helps us grow, and we really appreciate it, and we cherish every single comment.
We're so happy to be back and hang out with you guys.
Come hang out with us more on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, and let's keep chatting soon.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.